What's up everyone, EJ here and welcome to the I Am Project, where as always I simply hope to spark a little bit of curiosity when it comes to the topic of consciousness. Today I want to talk about the receipt trap and why we outsource our inner knowing. So without further ado, let's jump right in. We've been trained to look outside ourselves for answers. From childhood, we're taught that credentials equal credibility and that expertise lives in titles, not in truth. This creates a dependency loop where we constantly seek permission from qualified people to validate what we often already know deep down. The core issue? We've forgotten how to trust ourselves. Think about it. We wait for doctors to tell us that sleep, movement, and whole foods create health. We need therapists to confirm that our feelings are valid. We search for financial gurus to explain that spending less than what we earn builds wealth. We look to spiritual leaders to tell us what we can experience directly. So, why does this happen? Cultural conditioning prioritizes external authority over internal wisdom. The education system rewards memorization and obedience, not critical thinking. Media and marketing consistently position experts as gateway keepers of knowledge. We're taught not knowing makes us vulnerable and inferior. And here is where things get tricky. We've created a hierarchy of who deserves to be heard based on superficial markers of success. The flawed logic goes like this: if you're not wealthy, you can't teach me about spirituality. If you don't have the perfect body, I won't take your health advice. If you're not famous, your insight doesn't matter. So what's really happening here? The ego uses material success as a shortcut to avoid doing the inner work of discernment. It's easier to judge the messenger than to evaluate the message. We're looking for receipts, proof that someone has earned the right to know something. But here's the truth: wisdom doesn't require a resume. A struggling artist might understand creativity better than a business mogul. Someone working through depression might offer more authentic mental health insight than a clinician who's never experienced it. A janitor who practices presence daily might grasp consciousness more deeply than a tenured philosophy professor. Jobs, titles, and statuses are social constructs used for organizing society, but meaningless when measuring truth or wisdom. The receipt trap doesn't just affect how we receive information. It paralyzes us from sharing and acting as well. Imposter syndrome kicks in hard. I'm not a scientist, so I can't talk about quantum theory. I'm not a certified coach, so I can't help others. I'm not successful enough to share what I've learned. I need more credentials before I can take this seriously. So, we play the waiting game, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for more knowledge, waiting for external validation, waiting for permission that will never come. But here's a reality check. Every expert started as a curious beginner. Every teacher was once a student. The difference? They acted despite not having the perfect receipts. Now, let's talk about how this connects to consciousness and manifestation. When we outsource our knowing, we disconnect from our own consciousness, the very tool designed to navigate reality. Consciousness is your direct access to the truth. You experience reality firsthand. Experts experience it secondhand through their lens. Your awareness is valid regardless of credentials. Self-reflection and direct experience is more reliable than borrowed beliefs. You don't need someone else's receipts to prove what you already know. And from a manifestation perspective, the receipt trap directly blocks your ability to create because you're operating from lack. I need someone else's approval, method, or receipts. You're giving away your power. External validation becomes your source instead of internal knowing. You're not aligned with your authentic self. Following someone else's path means living someone else's life. You delay action. Waiting for perfect conditions means never starting. Manifestation requires trusting your inner guidance, taking aligned action, and believing you are already equipped with what you need. You don't need receipts to prove you're ready. You just need to begin. And, as we mentioned in multiple videos and will continue to mention, there's even a quantum connection here. Quantum theory suggests that observation affects reality. When you constantly look outside yourself for answers, you've collapsed possibilities into limitations. I can't know unless someone else tells me. You reinforce that pattern of powerlessness. You observe yourself as inadequate, which becomes your reality. But when you trust your direct experience, you become the observer who shapes your own reality. You access infinite possibilities rather than prescribed paths. You align with quantum field of potential. You stop asking for receipts and start creating your own proof. So, how do we break free? First, develop discernment over dependency. Ask yourself, does this information resonate with my experience? Notice, am I accepting this because it makes sense or because of who said it? Practice testing advice in your own life rather than blindly believing it and following it. Second, recognize your built-in guidance system. Your body knows when something feels right or wrong. Your emotions provide feedback about alignment. Your intuition offers insight that logic can't access. You don't need permission to trust yourself. Third, separate the message from the messenger. Good information can come from unexpected sources. Bad information can come from highly credentialed people. Evaluate ideas on their merit, not their packaging. Truth doesn't require a title. Truth doesn't come with a receipt. Fourth, reclaim your authority. You are the expert on your own experience. You have direct access to consciousness. You can observe, experiment, and draw conclusions. Your curiosity is credential enough. Fifth, start before you're ready. Share what you've learned, not just what you've mastered. Your proof is passion plus curiosity plus consistent practice. Imperfect action beats perfect planning every time. The doing creates the credentials, not the other way around. Sixth, practice radical self-trust. Notice when you seek external validation unnecessarily. Ask yourself, what do I already know about this? Honor your direct experience as valid data. Your inner knowing is not inferior to expert opinion. And here's a paradox. There is no universal receipt. What works for one person might not work for another because they're already having unique experiences with unique bodies with unique circumstances. The only receipt that matters is your own. Follow your curiosity. It's pointing you towards your growth. Trust your experience. It's your direct line to truth. Take consistent action. This is how you learn and evolve. Reflect and adjust. Wisdom comes from integration, not accumulation. You don't need perfect credentials. You don't need complex knowledge. You don't need external permission. You don't need a foolproof plan. You do need genuine interest. You do need willingness to learn. You do need courage to act. You do need commitment to continue. Now, let's bring it home. Strip away the titles, the achievements, bank accounts, and social status. What's left? Consciousness experiencing itself. We're all navigating the same fundamental questions. We're all learning as we go. We're all making it up as we move forward. No one has it all figured out. Absolutely no one. The person with the credentials is just a human, just as uncertain, just as prone to error as you and me. The difference is they stop waiting for permission and start exploring. They stop collecting receipts and start trusting their own proof. So here's an invitation. Stop looking for receipts in others. Stop waiting to have the perfect receipt for yourself. The information that helps you is good information, regardless of where it comes from. The topics that interest you are worthy of exploration, regardless of your qualifications. Your passion, curiosity, and consistent practice, that's your receipt. Everything else is just noise. So, what's the bottom line? First, trust yourself. Second, question everything. And third, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And for the love of consciousness, stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to do what you already know. You already have all the receipts you need. They're inside you. Look inward. Take the time. You will find them. Trust yourself. That's all for today, guys. I hope something here was a little useful and you can take it away and apply it. As always, please like and subscribe if that's the case, and till next time.